Welcome back. In our last explainer, we really dove into what it takes to win with AI in healthcare. And we found it wasn't just about having the best algorithm. Nope. The real power, the lasting advantage, comes from controlling a powerful triad: the data, the clinical workflow, and the final decision. If you can master those three, you build a competitive moat that is just incredibly difficult for anyone else to cross. So today, we're taking that exact same lens: data, workflow, decision, and we're applying it to the titans of the industry, the established medtech players, the companies that have been building the literal hardware of medicine for decades. And look, they're all investing in AI, that's a given. But the real burning question is, who is actually using that investment to build a true platform, a system so deeply integrated that a hospital simply can't imagine operating without it? Okay, let's jump right into the MedTech platform race. We're going to break down this new competitive landscape, and it makes sense to start right at the very top, with the companies who are furthest ahead. Right now, four companies really stand out as leading the pack when it comes to owning that AI triad. We're talking about Siemens Healthineers, Roche Diagnostics, Medtronic, and GE Healthcare. For today, we're going to zoom in on those first two, Siemens and Roche, to see exactly how they're managing to pull so far ahead of everyone else. So, what is it that makes these guys platform leaders? Well, it really comes down to this powerful, virtuous cycle. First, they start with a literal mountain of proprietary data that they've collected from the huge number of devices they already have out in the world. Next, they use that data to create tools that weave themselves directly into a doctor's daily workflow, making their job easier and more efficient. And then, and this is the real end game, they leverage that position to start actively influencing the clinical decision itself. First up, Siemens Healthineers. Their whole strategy is built around one simple but powerful idea: owning the imaging workflow. And it all starts with this massive, almost unfair advantage they have: decades and decades of proprietary imaging data collected from their machines in hospitals all over the globe. And you can see how perfectly their strategy maps to our triad. The data? Well, that's their giant global data set from all those machines. The workflow? That's their team play platform, which gets deeply embedded into how a radiologist works. But the real magic happens at the decision layer. Their AI RAD companion isn't some clunky separate app. It works right inside the radiologist's normal process, automatically flagging things, quantifying disease, basically acting as a true digital assistant. This shift is just brilliant from a business perspective. Think about it. The old model was selling a big, expensive MRI machine once, a huge capital sale. The new model is an AI-enabled platform. It's a recurring subscription revenue stream. You're no longer just a hardware vendor. You're providing an indispensable service that hospitals rely on and pay for month after month. That creates a much, much stickier customer relationship. So what's the bottom line here? It's that Siemens, through this deep integration, is gaining an incredible amount of control. They have a powerful grip on the data, on the workflow, and more on the final decision. They are getting incredibly close to owning that entire process, from scan to diagnosis. All right, next, let's turn our attention to Roche Diagnostics, because their platform strategy is maybe the most sophisticated in the entire medtech landscape, and it has this one really unique feature that sets it apart from pretty much everyone else. Just look at their assets when you map them to the triad. Their data isn't just big, it's what's called regulatory grade. It's so clean and structured, it can be used for clinical approvals. That is a huge deal. And their ownership of the workflow, it's basically total. Their Navify platform manages the entire pathology process, from the moment a slide is scanned to the moment the final report is generated. That is true end-to-end control. And this control leads to a really fundamental change in their role in the clinic. Roche's AI is no longer just a passive assistant. It's actively shaping the pathologist's focus. It's prioritizing cases. It's deciding what that highly trained expert sees first. They've made the leap from just supporting a pathologist to directly influencing the diagnostic conclusion. And that right there is the key takeaway for Roche. Because they have such tight control over that entire value chain, you can make a very strong argument that they are the closest of any company in medtech to truly owning the full stack, seamlessly integrating data, workflow, and that final clinical decision all into one unbelievably powerful platform. But this is where Roche's strategy gets really fascinating. See, unlike many others who are building these closed, walled garden systems, Roche is building an open ecosystem. They're actually inviting other companies to come in and build tools that connect to their platform. And that leaves us with a huge strategic question for the entire future of MedTech. As these giants build their incredibly powerful, closed off platforms, could the ultimate winning move actually be to build an open one?